already crowded enough. I want other people to go there.
That's the thing with this place. I've been in there when you're, like this.
Yeah,
And it's like,
right.
I'll have a couple brews, but
You might want to squat for this, Mr. Evaluator.
I decide when squatting is necessary.
Okay, are there any more recommendations for new games at the rec center?
My daughter, she loves Chutes and Ladders.
Oh, come on. There is no strategy to Chutes and Ladders. It's just luck.
My daughter's 5.
Well, your daughter is an idiot.
Also, how weird are forks?
Forks are very weird. I've always thought so.
Yeah.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
All things sports and other stuff. I've got John and Dan in, the guys at the end of the bench. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
good. How are
Doing
you?
very well.
Little self-serving promo real quick. I'd like to throw out thanks to KTOE in Mankato. They pick us up today and appreciate us letting us be there, ninth station, so we thank them. The other one, it was an accidental conversation I want to have with you guys. I bring it up today. My wife and I are traveling through Austin, and we are playing in Austin at KAUS, and we're running through Austin, going to Eau Claire, technically, for a graduation party, but it was lunchtime. So the wife gets on the phone and, dials up good places to eat, yada, yada. And she goes, well, there's this thing called Piggy Blues. What do you think of that? And you got to tell me a little more about it. It's a barbecue place. I said, I'm willing to give it a shot, right? This thing is kitty corner from the Spam Museum. I'm giving it a shout out because it was fan-flippin-tastic. I'm kind of a Famous Dave's. I know it's cookie cutter. I love Famous Dave's. This thing was that and then some. I just absolutely love it. So I'm sending out the Piggy Blues downtown Austin as my favorite new barbecue place. And my thought to you, John or Dan, do either one of you guys have one? What's your fave?
I do. First, I'll agree with you that Famous Dave's, if I need barbecue quick, great.
It's good. You know what it is? Good. Yeah. Yep.
The place I like, though, is Smokies in East Bethel, Minnesota. It's really weird to get to because you're driving out in the middle of nowhere and then you get to this little blub of a
East
place.
Bethel.
I almost don't want to reveal it because I'm worried about, Dan and I were talking that people will start crowding it now, but
yeah, I hate to have Smokey do well.
Well, they always
exactly.
do well. It's really popular with bikers because it's a fun drive on the bike to get there.
Okay.
They got great patios.
Oh, yeah.
They got wonderful beer tap selection.
Okay.
I had Pearson's Salted Nut Roll Ale, I think it was.
Wow, that actually sounds good. Not a
which
big beer
was
guy.
very interesting and not too bad.
Dan,
and great barbecue with great sauces.
All right, so that's Smokies in East Bethel. I'll put that on a list. I'm going to start a list. If you've got a list if you have a favorite place, let me know. Al@AlTravisShow.com. I'm going to start a list. We did that with some eateries and stuff back in the day. Piggy Blues is mine. Dan, do you have a barbecue place?
Yes. Jelly Bean and Julia's in Coon Rapids, formerly Anoka, but they got big. They
say that again. Jelly Bean and Julia's? Is that am I getting that right?
I got to write that down.
Jelly Bean and Julia's, yeah.
And that's
they used to run out in Coon Rapids right now. Coon Rapids Boulevard in Coon Rapids. They used to be a food truck only. Then he moved into a small little hole in the wall in Anoka, and then he expanded that little hole in the wall. Now they took over what was like the old Grumpy's spot in Coon Rapids, and it is. I've been going there for years. It's a fan that. Let's just say, I like brisket the best when you don't even have to put any sort of sauce on it.
Yes.
The sauce is just the icing on the cake. This is exactly. Yeah.
I was going to throw am I late to the food cart thing? And maybe you guys in the cities have had these for forever. But this TNT out of Mankato, that's the other you brought up the barbecue spot. He came down from Mankato having made his and brought it down here to Blue Earth. That was unbelievably good stuff. You guys got a lot of food trucks there, but we're not. Maybe I'm just catching on to their food trucks in the world.
No, it's pretty big up here, especially at events, certain community events or even sporting events.
All right.
it's being used
Yeah,
as a way to entice people to come attend.
And you can get some darn good grub. I mean, they make it like the regular restaurant, bring it to you, and I love it. Put it on a sandwich. So, okay. So, thank you for. We're going to put that out. Jelly Bean and Julia's in Coon Rapids, Smokies in East Bethel. Famous Day, everybody loves that. And I'm putting out my guy, Piggy Blues, out of Austin. You got a favorite, Piggy Blues? You got a favorite? It's right across from the Spam Museum. They have a little side thing. They'll barbecue spam for you as well. Just to highlight the Spam Museum across the kitty corner. I haven't had a lot of barbecued spam. So you got one, let me know, al@altravishow.com. Dan, real quick, the show you're in, you're getting there, you're having a good time?
Getting there, we're working, we're having a good time. Yeah, we're having a very good time. So yeah, it's coming up. We're just under 3 weeks now. Yeah. So we're getting kind of that, it's getting to be a little bit real. So it's
people are getting measured for costumes. Yeah. All right,
exactly.
Let's talk a little sports here. We're going to call ourselves the sports guys. OKC, of course, got in, beat up on Minnesota, and the Pacers end up downing the Knicks. The actual game is on Thursday, the start of the finals. I like this one. I don't know about you guys. I know the NBA can't like it, but Dan, your thought on OKC and the Pacers?
I was going to say, I just assume Oklahoma City's going to win that in 5.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think people have been thinking that about the Pacers all along. They match up, but they can't beat the Bucks, can they? They can't beat the Bucks. And it's like
they'll never beat the Cavaliers.
They'll never beat the Cavs. And never beat. It's like where the Cavs, and that's like where'd these guys come from? And that's
Dan brings up a good point, John. The Pacers, a 4 seed, take on the Bucks, a 5 seed, which they weren't supposed to win. Then they take the number 1 seed. This Cavalier team had 60 wins. They took them out. Oh, they're never going to beat the Knicks, and here they are. I mean, he's got a bit of a point. Don't count these guys out, or are you going to count them out?
No, but I'm going to say Oklahoma in 6. I don't think Dan's guess is very good and could very well be the case, but I think Indiana's got enough spunk and enough fire where they could stretch it out a little bit. I'm sure the league would like to see it stretched out a little bit, because 2 teams from the midsection of the country aren't going to be the biggest viewership.
I think I heard they're second and third smallest markets in the NBA. I mean, this is so not what the NBA wanted. Right on down to moving Luka over to the Lakers, and this was not what they wanted. But it's going to be great times. 7:30. They're both Central Time zones. This will be 7:30 every night for us. I dislike OKC. I love defensive basketball, and I don't think the Pacers understand this might be the best defensive team in 20 years. I mean, this is just going to rock the Pacers' soul. Halliburton will probably not get a shot off. I'm predicting it in 5 with you, Dan. I think they get lucky once. But I'll tell you what, the Thursday night game in OKC, I'm calling this bad boy. This is going to be one of those blowouts, 20, 25, 30 points. I think OKC is going to say, we're here. I really do.
They're just going to
put
use
the throttle
a crass analogy. This little crass analogy. They're gonna do a little peeing in the they're gonna be a little peeing in the corner of the basketball court. And saying,
they are. They're marking their territory. It is. I have no problem with it. Is that a bad take, John? They're going to be at home. That crowd is nuts. They're going to be hyped up.
I'm really going to wonder what happens when they win, and I'm saying when. Mm-hmm. What Oklahoma City is going to do, because this would be the first championship for that city in anything. I mean, they're not a city that comes to mind when you think major professional sports.
No.
I don't see them ripping down light posts. That's for New York. I don't know. We'll find out. Your thoughts, quick, because the paper today, what they're talking about is what does Minnesota have to do? And we'll get into it big on Friday because we spent so much time on a barbecue. Do the Twins have to move? Do they have to do something? Can they continue to be who they are and continue to get the Western Conference Finals, and that's enough?
You mean the Wolves, of course, right?
The Wolves. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. That's coming up next.
Yeah, I think you can't just sit pat. I mean, I was hearing, the teams all saying the right thing. It's like, we just need to grow in a little bit better. You just keep gelling, keep growing. And it's like, well, Oklahoma City is younger and more green than you are. So
it's an overall talent thing. I agree with you, Dan. You can gel all you want. You're only going to get so good with what you got. And I think the NBA shows us that. John, your thoughts on it quick?
Yeah, I mean, there's younger guys, I think, that can step up. You know, they talked about that a little in the paper. Shannon, maybe Garza, and then that guy that you like so much. And his name
Dillingham. They got to get Dillingham back in. I mean, they moved up to get him as a point guard, never played him all year. You don't get off the green list if you don't play.
So, you know, is it time to flip some of those guys on and let them play a lot of minutes? They got to look at that, and they got to look at those 3 guys that are going to be agents. I think keeping Nas makes a lot of sense, and I don't think
we're going to get to. I think Nas, he knows he can be a starter somewhere. Someone will pay him starting money. I believe. I'd love to keep Nas. I just think he's worth enough. Randall, I think that he'll take the money to stay here. I think he sees something.
It is age, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see him going. I just think there's so much upsides for Nas. 25 years old. You've already been the best 6 man. You played half the minutes in these games.
Well,
I'd hate to see it, but
Conley can't keep going forever. So who do you put in there?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Conley scored, I think, 8 points in those 5 games. We got to go to break. We're going to be behind. I want to talk your Minnesota Twins. I don't want to get scared about what's going on, but we lost 2 out of 3 people, all in OT, which is my least favorite baseball of all time. We'll talk about it coming up.
All the special interests are represented in St. Paul. But who speaks for you? Center of the American Experiment does. Our policy fellows dig into the tough issues that matter to you and offer common sense solutions on education, taxes, crime, and energy. American Experiment is the trusted, nonpartisan voice of Minnesotans like you. We are working every day to make Minnesota a better, safer, more prosperous place. We are American Experiment. Go to americanexperiment.org to learn more.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Are you kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS-SHOW.
I don't want to have to go back to the tape, but I believe both of you called a 2 out of 3 for the Minnesota Twins in this series. It was 2 out of 3, but not for the Twins. Weirdest ball. The 3 nights ago, the Twins were down, I think it was 3 runs going into this 9th inning. They get the 3 runs, tie it. Go ahead, Dan. Dan, your mic is muted. I hear you. I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear any words.
Dang it. Dang it. So, not just going into the ninth, 2 outs in the ninth inning.
They scored the 3 runs to push him into the 10th, which I hate the 10th inning, but we scored 6 runs in the 10th inning. End up winning 12-6. Good for us. The next night we get into extra innings again. We lose that one with a walk-off by the Mariners 5-4. And yesterday afternoon, the same thing. We had to tie it up in the 9th inning to get to a 10th inning, which we end up losing 2-1. I mean, you don't get much closer in ball games. Are we okay with this? Is this just ball? Should I be concerned? Dan?
Just ball.
I mean, it's just ball.
All right.
Although, Saturday we had chances. It was situational hitting. I think we could have won that game, put the run across first, and then put the pressure on them.
Was that the one where Wallner got caught coming from second all the way back? And I watched that guy. He's not fast. He is not a fast man.
I wondered that too. I'm like, you're a big dude. You're not.
Dan's going to correct us. Maybe he's got speed. He didn't look like he was
not true.
It's not.
That's not true. He actually has the 3rd fastest sprint speed on the Minnesota Twins.
See, John's looking at me like, hey, no. Then he wasn't. He thought he had it then because he was not hustling. He was thrown out by 10 feet.
Yeah.
I think it does take a moment or two to get that big body moving. But his top sprint speed is actually pretty good.
Did not know that. Okay, so yeah, but John is right. When he got thrown out, it's like, oh, people, we didn't have to do that. Going forward seemed weird, but you get the run when you can. So we're not worried about it, I guess is what you're telling me.
Well, the game yesterday, you hate to pin it on one guy, but if Jeffers' throw, wasn't an error, that guy stays at second, and when that other guy hits, he probably doesn't get home. But that's a lot of what ifs. But it sure made it easy with a guy on third and 1 out. I mean, geez.
Yeah. Let's do this. We have the Athletics. We're taking them on. Let me find out where we're playing them. But your thoughts on the Athletics?
Sacramento. I looked that up.
I think the Athletics are still figuring out where they're playing. Yeah,
they are.
Okay. Isn't that a fun little? It's very AAA bally, but I like it. It's got a real feel to it. Your thoughts, though? Can we take them where they are? Your thoughts? We got to take 3, right? We got to turn this little ship around.
They should be able to take all 3, especially with the pitchers we got coming. We got our good guys. And the A's are struggling. Let's face it.
Yep.
Do they have wins? Sure, but they're down, and I think they're in the bottom of their.
They are the bottom of their division
right now.
Yep.
So
yeah,
we should sweep.
I would expect
a sweep.
Yeah, they flirted with respectability the first month of the season, and then they've just been. Since then, they've been kind of showing that they're just not there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should sweep. We should sweep.
All right, fair enough. We have a very good month left of the NBA. Now we have just the finals. It goes on forever. But can I be jumping horses and jump on over to the Lynx? 7-0. They were when I turned the TV on last night. They were down at halftime by a point. Weren't happy with themselves. So came back to beat the Valkyries. 86-75. They're 7-0. I don't mention they only have like 42 games in the season. They're almost a quarter of the way there without a loss. Time to jump on a bandwagon. Come on, boys. Yes.
It could be the best Lynx team in a while, and that's. I don't mean to diss, Lindsey Whalen and Simone Augustus and those other great players, but wow, they got a great team.
Yeah. Dan, you're going to join me on that? We might as well start watching. We don't have any other basketball to watch. Time to get on the bandwagon.
Bandwagon, absolutely. No, it is time. It is time to jump on the bandwagon. Although, just to take a quick moment and say, is there a better name in sports than the Valkyries?
I know, actually, not. No, you're absolutely correct.
Oh my God.
No. No, that is very much it. And especially in the NBA league, some of the team names are like the Sunshine Rainbows or something like. Really? No, Valkyries, man. No, that's a great name. We got to fly. We're out of time. Dan, John, appreciate you being here. Get you guys back in here on Friday. Fair enough.
Go Twins.
And Lynx.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most